Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. CBS News reports that U.S. officials have stated American forces in the Middle East are prepared to resume fighting if required. The current U.S. military presence in the region has significantly expanded in recent weeks, now including additional forces and a third aircraft carrier, making it the largest deployment since the invasion of Iraq. Reporter Charlie D'Agostino describes this substantial military buildup as the president's use of 21st-century gunboat diplomacy. The article highlights the readiness of U.S. forces amidst escalating tensions, particularly concerning Iran, and implies a forceful diplomatic approach through military strength. According to Zio Sabah, a stalemate persists in the possibility of a second round of negotiations between the United States and Iran. U.S. President Trump announced an extension of the ceasefire agreement, originally set to expire this Wednesday, but stated that the naval blockade on Iran would continue. In response, a senior Iranian official, speaking to Reuters, affirmed Iran's refusal to engage in negotiations predicated on surrender. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi further emphasized that the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports constitutes an act of war, thereby violating the existing ceasefire agreement. The official added that Iran might consider talks if the U.S. ceases its policies of pressure and threats. Pakistan is reportedly mediating efforts to convince the U.S. to lift the blockade and release the seized Iranian cargo ship Tuska and its crew. Araghchi also condemned the attack on merchant vessels and the detention of their crews as hostages as a more egregious breach of the ceasefire. Iran asserts its capability to overcome restrictions, protect its interests, and resist bullying. UPI reports that European airline Lufthansa announced on Tuesday, April 21, 2026, its decision to cut 20,000 unprofitable short-haul flights through October. This measure is primarily driven by the soaring cost of jet fuel, which the company states has doubled since the onset of the conflict in Iran. The airline expects to save more than 40,000 metric tons of jet fuel through these cancellations. This follows Lufthansa's earlier move last week to prematurely retire the 27-plane fleet of its CityLine subsidiary. Affected passengers on the first 120 canceled flights through May have already been notified. The cancellations impact Lufthansa's hubs, including Frankfurt, Munich, Zurich, Vienna, Brussels, and Rome. Lufthansa assured that passengers would still maintain access to its global route network, particularly for long-haul connections, with schedule optimizations for June onward expected by late April. Other major airlines like SAS Scandinavian Airlines and Air France-KLM have reportedly adopted similar strategies in response to rising fuel expenses. Genuinet reported on Tuesday that Israel and Lebanon are expected to hold their second ambassador-level talks at the U.S. State Department in Washington, D.C. The discussions will again involve their respective ambassadors to the United States, Yochai Leiter and Nada Hamadeh Moawad. This upcoming meeting occurs amidst a fragile 10-day ceasefire that took effect between Thursday and Friday, following weeks of intense cross-border fighting during the U.S.-Israeli war against Iran. Despite the truce, tensions along Lebanon's southern border have continued, with Lebanon's official national news agency reporting escalated Israeli operations, including demolitions and increased aerial surveillance earlier on Tuesday. Israel and Lebanon lack formal diplomatic relations, and while Hezbollah is considered an Iranian proxy by Israel, the Lebanese government is the official party engaged in these negotiations. OpenAI, under the guidance of Sam Altman, has officially launched ChatGPT Images 2.0, marking a significant advancement in AI image generation. Altman described this release as a leap from GPT-3 directly to GPT-5, highlighting its groundbreaking thinking capabilities. Images 2.0 is the first image model able to process complex, multi-step instructions, accurately place objects, render dense multilingual text with pixel-level precision, and even connect to the internet for real-time information and self-correction. It can generate up to 8 consistent images in various styles and resolutions, including photorealistic and comic art. According to Vonkwon, Images 2.0 has quickly ascended to the top of global AI image generation rankings, surpassing competitors like Google Nano Banana 2 Pro across all 7 text-to-image categories. Demonstrations showcased its ability to engrave text on a single grain of rice, create intricate multi-panel comics with perfect Chinese text, and produce photorealistic scenes with nuanced details like film grain and accurate shadows. This release is expected to revolutionize creative workflows for designers and content creators, making AI image generation a viable and powerful tool for professional applications. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.